Alright guys, so welcome to another video. We're going to go through another product breakdown again and analysis using the Helium 10 X-ray tool, because personally I think these are some of the most valuable videos to most of the people watching this who are mostly in the product research stage looking to start Amazon. So without any further ado, let's get straight into this product. Now, looking at the results, of course, we're going to start at the top again with the averages that the Helium 10 X-ray tool give us. Before going down to the actual results down below, we can look at the numbers for each individual seller. And also, before I forget, please subscribe to the video, press the like button, bell notification, all of that stuff. But anyway, back onto the video. So starting at the top here, I always like to start with the search volume at the top. Now, obviously, the reason I do this is to make sure that we have the main keyword for this product. And I've done videos specifically on this topic in the past that if we don't have the main keyword for this product, we can get drastically different results compared to just using a different keyword, even if it's for the same product, because different keywords can be different amounts of competitive. For example, if you are selling, I don't know, a plate, a very, very obvious keyword for you would be the keyword plate. But obviously because of that, there's going to be more sellers looking to rank for that keyword, making it more competitive. So if you were to look at the Helium 10 results for that keyword, it's going to show a much more competitive market than if you search for the keyword, I don't know, dining table plate. Less sellers are going to be competing for that keyword, hence the results are going to make it look like a better product. So the first thing here is to check that that's the main keyword. Now, this isn't the only way to do this, but it is a very quick way that I can do in these videos. So the way that I do that is by looking at the search volume. Is it a high search volume? If I have a search volume here of maybe 100, 200, 300, it kind of makes me think that that probably isn't the main keyword for that product. If I have a search volume like I do here now of almost 200,000, this is almost 100% definitely the main keyword for this product. Now, I should start by saying that most products, their main keyword will not be this much. They may be in the 5, 10, 15,000. This is an extraordinary case, so don't expect to be seeing these numbers, and if you don't, then it's obviously not the main keyword. This is a extraordinary case, so I definitely have the main keyword here. I can tell that by the extraordinary search volume. So with that now established, let's go down to these averages. Now, I've said before that these averages are an average of all the sellers in this market on the first page. So that's position 1 to 50. Now, if we're looking to sell a product, typically we're going to be looking to get maybe in the first 1 to 15 sellers. So with these averages taking into account sellers all the way down to number like 49 and 50, the averages get very, very skewed. The people lower down who have like 1, 2 reviews, hardly any sales, are going to bring down the numbers, and the people at the top who have, like in this example here, some of them have 2,000, 3,000 reviews, they're going to massively bring up the numbers. So I find the averages can sometimes be very, very skewed because we're looking at a bigger market than just the 15 sellers we're really focusing on. So I always take these top numbers with a pinch of salt because really they don't mean too much. They're just a way to very, very quickly establish is this going to be a reasonably good product or not. But still, even with these numbers, I really don't pay that much attention to them and only really judge a product on the numbers down here, which we're going to get to in a minute. So starting off with the total revenue. Now for this, generally as a minimum, I'd like to see over 100,000 total revenue for a product. Now this one is obviously 860,000, so we're absolutely blowing that out of the water with huge demand for this product. Exactly the same as the average revenue, where I like to see around 2,500 or more. This one, 21,000, again, just blowing those numbers out of the water so we can 100% verify there is demand for this product. Now average BSR, we'll leave that for now. Average price at £21.60, which fits in my personal best kind of price range of around £20 to £25. That's perfect for me. And then average reviews at 745, which is much more than what I'd normally look for. Maybe in the around like 200 to 300 range. But again, like I said, these are averages and they can be greatly skewed, which we're going to get into in a minute because this number actually is after looking at this product before. So moving down to the actual numbers, we're going to kick this off over this column here with the brand. Now, the reason we look at the brand is to make sure first that there's no very big known brands. For example, if I was going to be selling a washing up liquid, competing with Fairy and these kind of people like Fairy Liquids, it's just not going to go very well for me. Sometimes you just cannot overcome that just brand power, and no matter what you do, even if you have a great listing, better price, are not going to be able to beat that brand because they are so well known. So my first thing is to look at brands, make sure there's no known brands, and even if there are their sales much greater than people who aren't a known brand? If they are, it's showing that that brand has power in that niche. If there's a known brand and their sales are no different from Tom down the street who's just a few results below, then who cares they're a known brand? It's obviously not making a difference. So everything that I talk about here is subjective to sales and distributions of those sales. So like I said, first of all, we're going to look at brands. Here, I don't see any known brands like that. But again, if you want to check this, take the brand name, type it into Google, does a website come up, do loads of products come up? You can tell by that quickly how established they are as a seller. Also, what I'm looking for is how many times is the same brand name repeated. If you look in the top 15 sellers and 13 of those results are the same brand, then that brand obviously has a very big market dominance within that niche. So again, that is something to look out for. I don't see either of those things here, so great news. We'll move on to the price. Now, I said above we have an average price of around £22, which is perfectly within where I'd want to be. But as for the actual variations on price, there is quite a big variation. So, for example, we have one guy here for $11.99, and just below that we have a guy for $29.99. Now, this variation isn't a bad thing. It can just be different bundles. It can be just different offers completely. Someone might be just trying to charge more. Obviously, because of the difference in price, I wouldn't say that this is just a more premium product. I would say there's definitely a bigger reason for that. And with anything you sell, you want to understand why that reason is. If you don't know why this person is charging £12 and the person underneath is charging $30, then how are you going to know how to price your product? You could go in there thinking, well, someone else is charging £30, so I can charge £30, and you don't really understand the reason why. And then you're not offering as much value as that person, or you're not doing the same thing as the person offering £30, and you're not going to sell any unless you understand why he's charging £30, so you can replicate that if you want to charge that price point. So very important to understand why that is. Obviously on this video, I can't go into depth on the product itself because it has been given by someone else. So we'll just have to kind of take that with a pinch of salt, and just at the minute, just looking at the numbers, it doesn't worry me. So we'll just leave that for now. But if you was looking at this product seriously, you'd want to understand exactly why that is and use that information to determine what price point you want to sell this product at. Now we'll skip these metrics here for the minute and go straight across to the revenues to see how everyone is selling. So top guy here that is not a sponsored listing, 140-ish grand a month. So he's definitely not short of a bit of change. Guy underneath, 85, 58, 35, 61. And then a huge drop off here to £600. Now with only 3 reviews, this guy looks like he's a new seller. So we'll go past him for the minute. We've got 9 grand, 11, 10, 20, 47. And then we continue down to lower results that aren't as important for the minute. So a very good amount of revenue in this product that we could establish from the averages above. But apart from that, there is also a pretty good distribution. It seems that almost every seller in the top 15 is getting a very good chunk of the pie. So that again doesn't worry me at all. So with the revenues now fresh in mind, I'll look at the reviews and see how that correlates. Are the sales only going to people with high reviews, or is it correlated differently that even if you have low reviews, you're also getting good sales? So straight away we can see that the people who have a lot more reviews are getting the chunk of the sale. So all of these top, I don't know, like 5 guys here that aren't sponsored are getting most of the sales, and they all have over 600 reviews, up to 2,500. So that's a lot of reviews. They're very obviously long time sellers, and they're doing very well from it. Apart from those people though, we have, what's this here? 1, 2, 3, 4 listings ranked positions 10 to 13 who are all fairly new sellers. These guys with 17 reviews, 35 and 42, all around 10 grand per month revenue, which again, for any new seller, that is not a bad point to be at all. I would not care in the slightest if these people are making 60. If I'm there with 17 reviews making 10 grand a month, it wouldn't really bother me at all. So you're in a very good position there, and that gives me great confidence as a new seller. I could enter this market and rank on the first page and get great sales because there's 3 people here already doing it. And this person here with 3 reviews, obviously he is very new to the market, but there's not much for me to go on to say that he isn't going to go on and achieve greatness like the people below him have, because he's already ranked above those people with only 3 reviews. I'm sure his BSI is only going to come down, meaning his ranking is going to continuously go up, bringing him even more sales than he already has. So I have great faith that this person will also achieve great sales. So on that basis, I wouldn't be too worried about launching this product. Obviously, there's a guy here of 0 reviews who's ranked position 16. You can't really beat that. That's like amazing to be that high up in this competitive market with those reviews. And like I said, we've seen it multiple times now with these people here. They are all ranking on the first page with very, very low reviews and getting great sales for it. And they're charging all the price ranges. So this guy £23, this guy 13, this one 24, this one 20. So at any price range you kind of choose to go with for this product, you have evidence that everyone is kind of working. So I would definitely analyze these products more and understand exactly why have they done so well. Have they optimized their listings really, really well? Are their images better than everyone else? Have they done something different to the product no one else has done before? I wouldn't just look and say, okay, because they've got low reviews, that's why they're on the first page, because it obviously isn't. Amazon isn't putting them on the first page because they've got less reviews than everyone else. It's for a reason. It's probably because they're getting very good sales. Why are they getting good sales? Look at their listing, look at their pictures, look at their product, their offer, their bundle, whatever they've done, look at it, replicate it, so hopefully you can replicate their success as well. So with those results in mind, so far to me it's looking like a great product. What I would do now is look at these sales trends. So I want to understand, is this product on an upward trend? Is it on a downward trend? Is it a seasonal product? Are we looking at it at a seasonal time where all the sales are inflated and in the next month or two all the sales are going to drop? These are the things I want to understand, and the best way to do that is look at the longest standing sellers who will typically have the most reviews. So looking at this guy here with 2,500 reviews, I want to look at his sales history to understand basically what I just talked about, that is this a seasonal product? Are we looking at a seasonal time of year? Or is it basically just good all year round? So looking at his sales, I would say that in this section here, he recently just went out of stock. So I wouldn't really think too much on that. But apart from this little section here, he's continuously grown in sales. So this is from May 2019. And he's continuously gone up in sales throughout the past year, over a year, probably a year and a half now. So that is extremely good news. Again, looking at another example of this guy with 2,000 reviews. Look at the sales history for him. And you want to do this with a few sellers. You don't just want to see one or two sellers with these results. You want to see it continuously in everyone. So I'd say here he was out of stock for a period of time. It looks very strange. It's still saying he was selling 18 units a month for all of this time, but I would say he was probably just out of stock. And then here, fairly sustainable since July until now, on the upward trend slightly, but again, still very, very consistent. So another good thing to see. So I'll go down here a little bit more and look at some of a bit lower reviews, a bit lower down the page, and see if their sales are also showing something good. So again, positive correlation from June, July 2020, sales continuing to grow. Obviously coming up to Christmas, that might have an effect, but even in the guy we've seen before who was back in 2019, his sales continue to grow past Christmas into this year. So the trends don't worry me at all either. It looks like an absolutely great product. I'd probably go for it if I can determine why those few sellers are doing so well, because the rewards are there. It's not a high risk, low reward product. This is basically kind of a medium to high risk, high reward product. So I'd probably risk it and go for this. Depending on your budget, can you afford to sustain a product of that high a sales volume and that high a sale price? You've got to look at your own personal situation. You can't just look at the high numbers and think, wow, I can make that much money, I'm just going to try it. Most people who do that and don't really think about it and just try and do it because of the numbers won't succeed. You need to approach this like a business and think of it from that aspect. Can you afford the units? Can you afford the stock to sustain a product like this? So with all that said, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video and the breakdown of this product. If you have, I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel, thumbs up, bell notification, comment, all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next one.